like gender's very like
outdated.
Yeah, gender's outdated, and there's also like a lot of different like things you can put in within gender.
What? Wait. She said gender is outdated.
Yep. That's what she said.
How is that? How is gender outdated? And my memory is not good enough to even remember what she said. He, they, them.
Mm-hmm. That's what it sounded like.
I don't. I.
What it do? Welcome back to the channel, baby.
Yeah.
What it do, Half and Jake family. Welcome back to the channel, baby. It's your boy Porn Star Half.
And it's your girl, Old Spice J. If y'all don't get it, it's a young girl named Ice Spice, and I am Old Spice because I'm old, y'all. I'm up there in age. I'm aging like fine wine.
And in case y'all don't get it, Porn Star Half, baby. Okay.
Y'all thought I was feeling you?
Long John Silver.
You a munch.
But we back. You feel me? With another reaction video.
y'all.
Hey, all right, so look. Let me start off by saying, first and foremost, I'm gonna let y'all know what's going on with my little brother. Okay, he's going through an eye disease that's called advanced keratoconus. Advanced keratoconus, I believe is what it's called, with eye drops. He's been having this disease for about 14 years. It's advanced to the point to where he's gonna need a cornea transplant. The eye disease will leave you legally blind, and they're taking away his Social Security, as well as his insurance, because they said, the state doctor said that the cornea transplant can possibly fix the problem, but you know, he still had to go through the process and the surgery and stuff like that. So, you know, if anybody that's out there who may know, you know, of donors, or you know, that may have some information to maybe help the cause, feel free to comment. Feel free to email us, DM us, however you think you can get in contact with us, because he really needs to try to figure this out. You know what I mean? It really affected him, you know. I mean, you guys can imagine, you know, if you have to go through something like that. So, you know, and again, like he was saying, that the state doctor is telling the Social Security people that, I guess, the cornea procedure will possibly turn the problem around. So therefore, they're taking him off, taking the money away from the date. So he won't be able to get the Social Security, won't be able to get the disability. So again, if anybody know anything that he can do to help, again, feel free to comment down below. If anybody that knows any donors out there that might be willing to do a transplant or anything like that, comment down below, let us know. DM us, email us, you know, however you need to. All right, so I appreciate you guys. Pray for my brother as well, and we definitely appreciate that.
Yes.
All right.
Life is real.
Life is definitely real. So, with that being said, let them know who we're going to react to today, baby.
We are reacting to exposing woke students' dangerous gender nonsense.
Exposing woke students' dangerous gender nonsense. So let's jump right into it. But before we get into it, everybody that's out there who has not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Yes.
Turn your post notifications on.
Yes.
Like and share this video.
Yes.
And comment down below, baby. Man, come and join the squad. Porno Star and Old Spice J.
Y'all thought I was feeling you?
We over here kicking off what? Good vibes, baby. Good vibes. Boom.
Y'all thought I was feeling you?
If she get in character, y'all, she be in character, boy. Hey, she would be doing this all day. She would be walking around the house all day. Y'all thought I was feeling you?
You thought I was feeling you?
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I'm non-binary and I use he, they pronouns. So I've like gone along with like the whole like pronoun journey. Gender's a social construct, it doesn't exist.
I use they them pronouns.
What does they them mean? Again, explain it to me.
Well, I identify as non-binary, so it's not man or woman or either ends of the spectrum. It's somewhere in between or nowhere.
Back at Sussex University, one of Britain's wokest universities, to ask students questions, all things pronouns and gender related. Let's see what they have to say. What age should someone be allowed to get surgery and transition fully?
I think the easy answer is 16 to 18.
What, so could a 12-year, would you be comfortable with a 12-year-old getting surgery, for example, or a 14-year-old?
Well, it's not my place to really like get in the way of telling, you know, what a 14-year-old or something should do. But I think that if they think that, you know, they want this, then they should be allowed to have it.
But it's interesting you mentioned 16. For you, that seems like an age where underneath that, you wouldn't be happy about the idea of someone, if it was available to them.
Maybe. I mean, maybe like a year or two after maybe thinking about it or contemplating starts. So like 7 or 8 if they're like 10, 11, 12. If it's like this is a through line and it's been giving them maybe issues with mental health, like if it's like this is a recurring theme, then maybe pursue that. Sure. Because it's just a different form of therapy.
If I was...
Comment down below, let us know what age do you guys think is an appropriate age. Just comment down below.
Recurring theme, then maybe pursue that. Sure. Because it's just a different form of therapy.
If I was to say to you, how many genders are there, what would you say?
I'd say that there's definitely more than 2. I think it's a far more complicated and personal sort of like set of things than you can be easily even put to a number. Really.
Sure, okay. How many genders are there then?
An infinite amount.
Infinite amount.
So, don't want to
As many as you want.
Yeah, like...
You just talk to the person and find out what they feel. I think.
So what? Limitless.
Like a binary number, because like when you bring in things like he, they, that's just like it's more like your expression of yourself. It doesn't have to be like a number. I think. That's
like gender's very like
outdated.
Yeah, gender's outdated, and there's also like a lot of different like things you can put in within gender.
What? Wait. She said gender is outdated.
Yep. That's what she said.
How is that? How is gender outdated? And my memory is not good enough to even remember what she said. He, they, them.
Mm-hmm. That's what it sounded like.
My memory is not good enough to remember that.
Right. I know y'all already know halves. I mean, okay, I can't remember that yet.
That's a lot to remember.
Yep.
And then if you say it wrong, you're canceled.
Mm-hmm.
Outdated.
Yeah, gender's outdated, and there's also like a lot of different like things you can put in within gender, because there's like gender, like identity, expression, and then pronouns and gender doesn't have to be aligned. It's all very different. So and also the only real person who needs to know a person's gender is themselves, like because it's a very like, personal thing and a very like a thing that people will express or want to keep private. So I think like there's like 2 sexes, there's like male and female.
Sure.
But gender, there's as many as people want there to be.
I have a few friends who identify with a variety of different genders. I think it's less of a sort of... It's more of an identity thing rather than any amount of how many it is. I'm sure there are many that I don't know of, and many that I do. So...
But there's more than 2.
Yes, I would say so. There's 2 biological sexes. I think gender is a matter of spectrum. And
absolutely. I mean, I personally believe that gender is a social construct. People can use whatever pronouns that make them feel comfortable, basically.
So, as in gender and sex are 2 different things?
Yes, I believe, at least personally.
Sure, okay, fine. So, how do you identify then?
I identify, I'm not really sure.
Sure, so, okay, that's...
Still figuring it out.
I'm trying to get my head around the language. If you're a trans woman...
How you not sure how you identify? Like, how you...
So,
I don't understand.
In order to understand a person that you don't know, you just walk up to them and ask them what do they identify as, or
Yeah, that'd be the I guess the most respectful way to say it.
And some people will be offended getting asked that question. You know, some people will.
But that's the only way that you gonna know how to identify themselves. So like that's like saying.
But I'm
like
saying
if you coming in for a job interview,
mm-hmm.
and you know on the application and stuff, it asks you the raise, this, that, and the third, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say you get hired, but you don't want to have this new employee feel disrespected or discriminated or whatever, right? So you want to ask, how do you identify yourself? So we can make sure everybody else knows that's around you how to identify you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
and approaching someone who's straight will feel very offended, I feel. If you ask them what they identify
but why
as.
would you ask somebody that's straight? Why
I'm
would you
I'm
identify
saying
as, though?
I'm saying maybe a person could be interested in another person, and you know, like dating wise, and
The straight person?
No, the person that's asking another person,
Okay,
who is straight,
Okay.
asking the straight person,
okay,
you know,
mm-hmm.
can possibly feel offended. Like, what do you identify as? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because people get offended over
No, I
the
understand.
smallest thing,
No, I understand.
and I feel
I just want to see why the other person would ask the straight person though.
But they don't know the person is straight. That's what I'm
True.
saying.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Approaching
right.
a person.
No, you're right. You're right.
You
You're
know.
right. You're right. Unknowingly, you're right.
Sure. So okay, that's.
Figure it out.
I'm trying to get my head around the language. If you're a trans woman, so that means that you've transitioned. So you were a cis male. I think that's the language, and you're now a trans woman. And the feminists say you should not be allowed to use a female bathroom. So it's all very well talking about ideas, and I like that. But in terms of practical application in some of these areas that are more about the LGBTQ+ community, what are your thoughts as a female who identifies as a female? What do you think about trans women? I think that's the right term. Using female bathroom.
I think it's fine. I think that people can use whatever bathrooms they want.
What about the feminists who say that there's a safeguard?
You guys comment down below. Let us know what your thoughts are about that. Do you think that they should use a woman's bathroom? Comment down below. Let us know what you guys' thoughts about that.
People can use whatever bathrooms they want.
What about the feminists who say that there's a safeguarding issue there? That's what generally speaking, the feminists now are talking about safeguarding issues.
I wouldn't really call them feminists if they're like not including trans women in their agenda.
Because trans women are women.
Yes.
And is that your personal belief?
Yes.
And trans men are trans men are men.
Yeah. If they identify as that, or they might identify as like non-binary or whatever. But yeah, whatever they identify as.
That's like the purpose of the bathroom. You just walk in and anyone could be in there. It's gender neutral. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so at the other end, what if I tomorrow morning dress up as I look right now, but I get into a dress, heels, whatever, and I walk into a female bathroom? Is that okay?
I feel like this is quite like a very like complicated and loaded question to ask someone. Like, I don't really have the exact answer.
Well, just your thoughts, because that's what the feminists are saying in terms of safeguarding, is that actually there's a big problem there, but the trans community says there's no problem. So it's about getting your own opinion.
Yeah, well, I think that, trans women should obviously be allowed to go into female toilets. Yeah, it's just,
No, are they talking about trans women that's fully transitioned over, like got the whole operation done, the whole 9 yards? Or just like he said, just how he is now, just going in and get the makeup, dress, heels, boop, bop, bam, and then still have to stand up to go use the restroom? Or would they sit down, even though they still haven't went through the transition to use the restroom, just because they're identifying themselves as a woman, they want to kind of feel as much as a woman as possible?
I have no clue how that works, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's quite a hot topic.
It's a difficult question, but I think it's a completely legitimate one for people that say that there are many different genders and we should address with pronouns. So, for example, let's just say that as I look today, tomorrow I go into a female bathroom and I'm dressed in a certain way, and someone says, "Oi mate," or "Oi sir, you can't go in there," or whatever. So it's not just about pronouns and about asking people how many genders there are. It's about the practical application. So fundamentally, in terms of the trans movement and bathrooms, is it the case that a trans woman, is that the correct, that they should be allowed to use female bathrooms?
They should be allowed to use women's bathrooms, yes. Sex and gender aren't inextricably linked. They aren't linked at all, really. Gender is a social construct. It doesn't exist. It's about making sure that people are safe because, you know, trans women face misogyny too. They face exponential amounts of violence. It doesn't have any implication on which bathroom people go to. People say it's a women's safeguarding issue. I am absolutely a feminist, but, you know, I do not see this as a women's safeguarding issue. You do not have security guards standing at the doors to gendered toilets saying, "Let's see your genitals, we need to make sure you aren't trans." The fear very much seems to be about cisgender men dressing up as trans women and causing attacks and harms.
A guy like me dresses up tomorrow morning, I wake up looking at the way I do, and I put a dress on and I start going into female bathrooms because of how I identify, which obviously links to pronouns. What are your thoughts on that?
It's a really good question. I think it can be quite an easy way for a man who wants to assert some dominance, who disagrees with the whole pronoun situation, to waltz into a female bathroom with a dress on and say, "I'm allowed to be here." But I think that is a small minority. Yeah, it's going to make people uncomfortable. I don't think that would affect me as much. Obviously, I don't go into women's bathrooms either as wearing a dress or as born as a woman.
And that is scary because if a man, know it's okay to do that, a straight man dressing in women's clothing and going into a women's restroom, and there's nothing we could really do about that. And he can cause, attack. He can. That's scary. That's scary to know.
And then if let's just say security guard came, told the man he had to get out with the wild man, whatever it came, that's a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Now you're discriminating against me because I identify myself as a woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
it's
one of those
sick-minded people.
Yes. But like he said, it's a small minority of them.
Right.
But they're still there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you still got to watch out for that.
Yeah.
So, and that's just my thing on it. And I just feel like, they should just have their own bathroom. You know what I'm saying? If you identify yourself like that, I mean, just so it won't be, because it has to be. It's sad to say, I hate to say it this way, but sometimes it has to be a tragedy in order for something to change. You understand what I'm saying? Like sometimes it has something, had to, like they say back in the days, older people say they remember they didn't have to lock their doors and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They can leave the swing doors and all that. But it wasn't up until the tragedy started happening to where people started feeling they got to lock their doors now. And you know what I mean? So it's like before that happens, let's do something different about it.
Right.
That then, right? Tough question. What of that of a 6-year-old saying to mum and dad, what you're saying is that I identify or I feel as XYZ. What should the parent do? What's your advice? Nice and broad, could be anything, but they say something along those lines.
I mean, I just think listen to them, do what they choose. Like, I know there's obviously permanent things you can do with transgender stuff, but maybe just support them until they're old enough that the parents are happy for them to make permanent decisions. But until then, just listen and be open.
Yeah, definitely. Even from the start, just make it a place where they feel like they can come to you with those questions, and make it a space where you're not labeling them as definitely a boy, definitely a girl, or definitely gay, definitely straight. Just make it an inclusive place where if they are thinking that, then you can just be yeah, I hear you, I see you. Do you want a different pronoun, a different name? How can we support you in this? And it's see, because children are not ever changing, ever growing. Same with adults, people change, people experience different things and go, oh, actually I want to be this or this. So really just be open and listen to them.
So a lot of times it's just we'll try different clothes, we'll try a different haircut, we'll see if we like it. If you really hate it, there's no harm, no foul.
So obviously just good parenting 101, listen to the child, ask them how they're thinking, feeling, but equally if a child came home and said, just to be devil's advocate for the audience, if a child came home and said, I want to start drinking vodka straight from the bottle...
No, you say no, or that's too dangerous, you're too young.
It's like, it's important to just be there for your kids rather than try and impose something on them. You can, like, obviously let them know how you're feeling, but respectfully be able to listen to what they are trying to express to you and, like, not coax anything that you want to hear back out of them.
So what would your advice be to parents where a son comes home and starts saying things like, "Oh, I think I might be female," or am I a woman, or whatever?
I think there's a level of exploring. Obviously, you've got to be aware of age, but the parent is realistically in control until they're sort of early teens, I'd say, and then it sort of becomes an increasingly balanced relationship to a more 50-50 thing and a more independent thing for the child as they get 18. So earlier on, it's sort of, okay, you feel this way, let's talk about it. But I make the final decision as the parent, and then it moves into if you want to wear a dress, that's your thing. Let me support you in that.
Well, yeah, I'd say be supportive of your child and try and talk through their development, but also your child will know who they are and stuff. I think the encouragement to be open with your growth as a person is really important. I think that, I don't know, sometimes it can be pushed down, and it can lead to some really difficult times when you're repressing who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've just, people have referred to me as she, and I've been like, oh, not she, it's they. And then they're like, I'm so sorry, I didn't know, I'm trying to do so much better. And at the end of the day, you're then putting the onus on trans people for taking the responsibility for your mistakes. You're allowed to make mistakes, that's why we're correcting you, so you can do better and move on. But you're putting trans people in a really uncomfortable position when you make them try to make you feel better or alleviate any guilt. I think it is about being patient with people, but also we're not just going to be patient for anyone, because you need to actually be making an effort. These are new things and they do take time to learn, but you actually have to be putting in the effort. You can't just expect trans people to forgive you wherever you go.
Pronouns, should we all be using them? How to a layman?
Wait a minute, what? Okay. This is becoming way too much. So how are you gonna forgive me for me not knowing what you identify as, or the pronouns? I cannot remember that. I don't want to take my time to try to remember that. I don't want to do that. I'm old school. This is how I grew up. I grew up male, female. I don't have time to figure out who they, them,
or any other pronouns.
None of it.
Right.
I got way too much in my head to do all that.
Right.
And then she's talking about being forgiven, and you might not be forgiven if you do it more than once. Girl.
Right.
Oh, nah. You thought I was feeling you?
Right.
I don't have the patience and the time.
Right.
I don't.
Right.
I don't.
Right.
I'm too old for that. You just might not forgive me because I'm not used to this.
Right.
I'm not.
Right.
I'm understanding, and I love people. I love people. I don't got time to learn the pronouns. Right. Who is going to think that all the time? Especially, we didn't grow up. I'm not going back to school. I don't want to go back to school.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's real.
You can't just expect trans people to forgive you wherever you go.
Pronouns, should we all be using them? How to a layman person, how does it work? Should we be using them, and what are they?
We should all be using them. Unless you don't want to use them. but like that would be an identity on its own.
Today is International Pronoun Day, apparently anyway. So I've been told. If I'm wrong on that, then is it? Okay.
So all my badges, they're all like personal to me and my symbolism, and I have lots of different flags. So this is just the classic transgender flag.
Right.
So anyone who doesn't identify with the gender that was assigned at birth.
I know that one, yeah.
Yeah, and then this is the non-binary one, which is the one I use. So that's for anyone who again isn't a man or a woman, whether that's a trans woman or a trans man.
Yeah.
And then this. Oh no, where's the? And this is the progress flag. So this is the normal, the gay flag that everyone knows, like the rainbow.
Some of them I know, yeah. That's great.
And then this is the progress one. So again, it's just the typical rainbow that Gilbert Baker created in the early 2000s. And then this is the progress one, which was created, I think, 2020 by a black woman of colour. And the white, blue, and pink show the transgender people in the community, and the brown and black show the people of colour in the community.
And then there's Superman and Batman, and they seem to be
they're gay.
They're engaging in a warm embrace.
Of course, yeah. I love all my badges kind of like show to other people the values that I have and like the inclusion I have. So I have like loads of ones which talk about like obviously refugees are welcome, and like the gay community, trans community. I have like ones about like sustainability, all of that, just to show people that like I'm like an inclusive person and like this is who I am, and like you can express yourself however you need to be.
Yeah, well I have to ask because I've not seen that before. Emma, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you so
Have
much.
a great day.
Have a great day.
Sure. So generally speaking, if let's talk about you as the individual. If someone, so for me you're a female, but that might offend somebody who was non-binary. Is that correct? I'm learning as I go.
Well, I present as a female and I identify as a female, so that's fine to me. Obviously, if you assume someone else's gender and they are not identifying as that gender, that would offend them. So usually I would just not assume at all.
I had someone tell me a little while back that their daughter wanted to get some kind of outfit, but it had rainbow colors on it. And the mother didn't want her to get it because of what the rainbow stands for now. You know what I mean? It don't stand for, you know, I guess the pot of gold on the other side of the rainbow, where, you know, whatever the story was, you know, whatever the case may be. And when she said it, it kind of hit me like, damn, that is true though. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people do feel that way, like they don't want their kids, I guess girls that is, you know, and, you know, boys, you know, wearing something with rainbow colors on it, or, you know, some people have the little license plate brackets on the outside or whatever, you know, rainbow, whatever the case may be, you know, because they're not identifying themselves that way. You know what I mean? Their parents don't want them to identify themselves that way, so they're preventing them to, you know, sort of speak, still be a kid, you know, still be a girl, or whatever the case may be. You know, does that make sense?
Me, personally, I'm a straight woman, but I love color. I will rock rainbow. I will wear whatever I choose.
Yeah,
and
but I'm saying, do you think that the parent was wrong for doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I feel that was ignorant, kind of, you know?
Right.
Because...
You don't think she was, like, just trying to prevent...
I mean, you can't...
Like, any issues, like, at school type of thing? Like, you know, her daughter may be getting into it with somebody because they may think that she's that way, and, you know, altercations occur. Or, you know what I mean? Things like that.
I mean... And especially a child, like my nephew.
Yeah.
My nephews, they love rainbows.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to tell them not to stop liking rainbows because, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's teaching them wrong.
No, you're right.
I feel parents, you know, who have children who feel that they are, you know, a different gender, you know, you be open and understanding, and you don't have to like we've said before, you don't have to necessarily agree, but just be there for your child.
Right.
Be there for your child, no matter what your beliefs are, how you feel. Be there for your child.
Right.
The thing that bothers me is all these different pronouns. Like, that's too much. That's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot to try to remember.
Yeah.
And you're gonna offend people all day long because it's so many different pronouns.
Right.
That I can't get with that. That's just something I can't get with. I mean, I will try, but I'm not about to sit and study.
Right.
I'm not about to do that because I got too much going on in my head to sit and figure out who's who.
Right.
I will call you by your name, and I will respect you as long as you respect me. I'm gonna show you love if you show me love, and that's just how it goes with me as far on my end.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the pronouns?
I feel, I mean, you know, kind of the same way, but we got to kind of wrap this up, though, 'cause I got an appointment at 10:30.
Oh, okay.
But I do kind of feel the same way that you're feeling about the pronouns. I'm an old school person, so, you know, and I believe in, you know, how you was born is, you know, and I don't mean this in no disrespect, though, in no kind of way, but I just feel like how you was born is how I will identify you.
Well, I think
but I will
using
respect
a person's name,
how you identify yourself as. But like you said, I can't, if I don't remember that, you can't fault me for it, is all I'm saying, because I'm so used to a certain way.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it'll be hard for me just to jump out of that, what I've been used to all these years, to keep up with all these different pronoun names. You know what I'm saying? So that's like if I had, you know, 10 names, I'm not going to expect somebody to remember all 10 of my names. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I just,
so,
you
know,
like, I'm going to definitely show respect.
Yeah, they're going to show respect, but
if it's given to me.
Right.
And, you know, I'm going to give it back.
Right.
I'm going to love you. I'm going to love you, absolutely love you if you love me back. Like, we just, and I'm just saving myself from offending someone.
Yeah.
But anyway, you gotta go. So I'm gonna do the first shout out, and the first shout out goes to Crypto Begin. What's up, Crypto Begin?
Crypto Begin. Shout out to you. Hope you definitely enjoyed that reaction. Let us know what your thoughts are about it. Do you use the pronouns or, you know, things like that? So let us know what you think about it. Comment down below. Come back and join for some more reactions.
Yes. And second shout out goes to Happy Eardrum. What's up, Happy Eardrum?
Happy Eardrum. Yeah, you must be hearing a lot of good things. You feel me?
I need that.
Right.
I need your ears.
Shout out to you. Hope you definitely enjoyed that reaction. Let us know what you thought about it. Comment down below.
Yes.
And very interesting topics we've been on today. So y'all go check them all out. Let us know what you think about it. And put some suggestions down there too. You know, different videos you guys may want to see us react to. All right?
Yes.
So make sure you guys go out your way
to have yourself an amazing day.
And we're going to catch y'all in the next reaction video.
Yes. Peace.